There has been a lot of hype surrounding Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 for several reasons. Reasons also because of which I have been barraged with messages of how one should support this Hindi film because of all the aspects riding around it. This movie, at least from the Hindi film industry perspective, comes as a refreshing change for exhibitors and distributors after Gangubai, as the advance bookings of the film have been extremely favourable, and the movie is scheduled to have a 2-digit opening. With Kartik Aaryan at the helm of affairs and everyone within the industry wanting the film to do so well, there has been weeks of chatter, not about the content of the film but the business and marketing surrounding it. I had said this a few days ago that trade analysis and movie reviews are mutually independent, and one should be reminded of this as now social media chatter just equates box office numbers to the quality of the movie. Irrespective of the sound surrounding the film, my job is to judge the movie for what it was, so let's get to it. Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 is a sequel of the 2007 classic Hindi film with the same title, which was a remake of the 1993 Malayalam film Manachitrathad. The film is an extension of several of the spooky elements of the first film, but essentially is a fresh story with new characters. Set 18 years after the incident where Manjulika and her powers were suppressed by a tantric, there seems to be a re-emergence of her presence in the Thakur manor, because through a lot of confusion, lies, cover-ups and naivety, the doors were reopened and the Thakur household moved in again. By tapping into the fear of Manjulika and the superstition of the family members, they are coaxed to move into the old house. This is where Rohan Randhawa, played by Kartik Aaryan, gets embroiled in a comedy of errors, covering up for Reet, played by Kiara Advani, only to realize that the mysterious elements are not only legitimate but absolutely horrifying. What transpires in the mansion as Rohan circumvents his way through the mystical elements and understands the real intentions of the ghost forms the basic storyline of Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it in theaters or not. The underwhelming aspects. Below average songs. I don't want this review to get into a full comparison mode with the first film because they are two different storylines, but one can prefer a music album over the other, especially when it is composed by the same artist, Preetham in this case. I thought that the music of this film pales in comparison to the 2007 movie, and let's get to that. The original title song was essentially a beautiful fusion between Indian culture and rap. It almost took the theme of the movie and gave it an offbeat spin, especially for that time. But what's underwhelming about the new rendition is that it's just a generic club song and nothing inventive. Kartik tries his best to impress with his dance moves, but it isn't something that will stand the test of time. The 2007 film had KK singing Laboko as the romantic track, and it still plays today as we reminisce his melodious voice. And Hum Nashe Mein To Nahi benefits from having Arijit sing but doesn't have the soulful impact of a romantic track that you may play on loop. The party mix De Tali is best left forgotten as any other Bollywood party song that gets lost in the saturation of those that exist already. I was kind of disappointed with the songs in the film, but there are other aspects that work for me. However, I'll touch upon that a little later. Hit and a miss with comedy, editing and themes. This is Farhad Samji's best work as a writer, and I never thought that me reviewing movies and writing scripts I would ever say that. Assisted by Akash Kaushik, the film does guarantee laughs, and I will expand on that later, but I also wanted to talk about why it was a mix of both rather than a total home run. The integration of Sanjay Mishra and Rajpal Yadav in the storyline leads to the most hooting and cheering, but sometimes it's just the bottom of the barrel jokes that are reflective of amateur writing. There are too many fat jokes in this film. If ever Sanjay Mishra is confused in the film, he just says Vazan Badh Gaya Hai. The sequence that involves a donkey, Rajesh Sharma constantly wanting to play Phugdi, and Sanjay Mishra just repeating lines like a tape recorder as a gag don't really land. Kartik also has some lines that made me cringe, like Mera phone tring tring nahi karta, conjuring करता है. I think फरहाद समझी कभी ना कभी तो खिल के निकलता ही है. So there are moments where उनकी cringe writing आ जाती है. It's crazy, however, how much of a step up this film is compared to the otherwise crass and cringe comedy that usually are presented by a Farhad Samji written script. I also felt on a side note that Kartik and Kiara's romantic subplot could have been cut down, as it would have made the film a really crisp and engaging edit rather than having abrupt breaks for their banter to continue. What I also felt, and this might be a criticism that many you may feel, that this movie goes in the mystical route rather than the deep-rooted mental issues that the first film explored. So this is more of a cautionary tale for you that this movie is simplistic in its approach of the aura of Manjulika. The good. Masterful strategy. I don't know whether this was intentional or not, but my god did the trailer of the film really dishearten me and make me fully believe that this movie is going to be an absolute train wreck. It caught me so off guard that I thought that it won't be anything less than a disaster, but trust me when I say this trailer did not even capture an iota of the themes and subplots that the movie explores, and that's masterful in my eyes, if done intentionally. Catch the masses so off guard that they go with zero expectations, me in this case, and then explore several beats that I didn't see coming. See, the inspiration from the 2013 Malayalam film Gitanjali, which in itself is inspired from the Thai film Alone, is undeniable. But by taking several themes from the same and delivering in most of the aspects is a task in itself. And the film does deliver in terms of entertainment, and that's exactly what the masses demand for. And I'm as surprised as you watching this video right now. Background score and Ami J. Tomar rendition. The film's background score, composed by Sandeep Shirodkar, is exceptional. There is this fast-running POV shot that is assisted with the BGM, which is reflective of the Z horror show opening credits music that all of you know sent shivers down our spine. The great part about this film from a commercial aspect, and what I fear the most, is that it isn't lopsided as a full-on comedy. Rather, it is a horror comedy that balances both the genres really well, and Anees Bazmi as a director needs to be praised for that. The album, in the sense the songs were underwhelming in my eyes, but the standout song from the album, as we all predicted from the trailer, is Arijit Singh's rendition of Ami J. Tomar. It has this melodious and eerie tone to it that works perfectly at the time in which it is placed in the screenplay. Genuine laughs and scares. While I have criticized some of the gags in the film, it's undeniable that I laughed in several moments of the film and in some cases was borderline hysterical. See, I went into this film to be entertained, and this is not an excuse to be like I was lowering my expectations. I genuinely wanted what horror comedies like Stree have guaranteed, which is laughs and genuine jump scares, and it delivered on both. Kiara coaxing Kartik to come to Rajasthan with dal bati churma, Kartik covering his tracks by speaking in a poor man's Bengali accent, the back and forth tussle between Kartik and the little kid, or my favorite when Kartik frustratingly says, "Thakur ki jagah koi Gupta hi Agarwal mil jata to acha hota." The scares also especially kick in the second half, and they really deliver. I can't really expand on what type of sequences because that needs to be explored when you see the movie, but the most dependable actor from the cast, you can figure who, is a powerhouse who convinces you of the spooky world of this film. The conviction of Kartik Aaryan, but Tabu steals the show. See, everyone is going to miss Akshay Kumar and his comic timing. The mid-2000s and his collaborations with Priya Darshan were epic in every way, but I feel of the young lot of actors who have the ability to convince you of the absurdity of commercial comedies, Kartik Aaryan is definitely one of the standout performers. His comic timing is on point, especially in the first half. His constant need to cover up the lies, general curiosity to improvise and blend in with the family, Kartik accounts for the right vessel to make this film an entertaining watch and not a drag, which I really feared. Kiara is rather short of her ability to impact you as a viewer. You can pinpoint several drawbacks of her as a performer, but Rajpal Yadav and Sanjay Mishra, even in their stupidity, managed to conjure up moments of pure comedy. It is, however, Tabu all the way who makes this commercial entertainer that I'm sure the masses will tune in for in theatres. She has the most tricky role, something with which most actors would terribly falter, but who better than Tabu to pull off that with flying colours? My god, is she a force to be reckoned with and a total chameleon in this film. Holistically, I have to say that I wasn't expecting anything from this film, and it surprisingly delivered an entertaining watch in the horror comedy genre. People want Hindi films to fail so badly in the current environment that they will think that I've been paid for this. But I'll stick to my guns of at least telling you that Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 does deliver in both, which is horror as well as comedy. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.